Nenomatica, where mathematics meets YouTube excellence. Today we'll prove a fascinating inequality. Let's examine the problem. Here's our example. We need to prove the following inequality. Let's begin by presenting the key inequality we'll use for our proof. First, we'll use a crucial lemma. For any n in the natural numbers and positive values a and b, we have a to the power of n plus b to the power of n is greater than or equal to a times b times the sum of a to the power of n minus 2 and b to the power of n minus 2. This lemma will be our starting point. Let's set n equal to 3 in our inequality and see what happens. When n equals 3, our lemma becomes a to the power of 3 plus b to the power of 3 is greater than or equal to a times b times the quantity a plus b. Now, we'll add abc to both sides of the inequality. This gives us a to the power of 3 plus b to the power of 3 plus abc is greater than or equal to ab times the quantity a plus b plus abc. Now, we'll simplify the right side of our inequality. ab times the quantity a plus b plus abc equals aba plus abb plus abc, which equals a squared b plus ab squared plus abc. This can be rewritten as ab times the quantity a plus b plus c. The next step is to take the reciprocal of both sides of the inequality. Since we're dealing with positive values and we're taking reciprocals, the inequality sign flips direction. So we get 1 over the quantity a cubed plus b cubed plus abc is less than or equal to 1 over ab times the quantity a plus b plus c. By similar reasoning, we can derive the inequalities for the other two terms in our original problem. For the second term, we can prove that 1 over b cubed plus c cubed plus abc is less than or equal to 1 over b c times the quantity a plus b plus c. And for the third term, we can prove that 1 over c cubed plus a cubed plus a bc is less than or equal to 1 over c a times the quantity a plus b plus c. Let's combine these three inequalities. Now, let's add all three inequalities together. On the left side, we get the sum of the three fractions from our original problem. On the right side, we get 1 over a b times the quantity a plus b plus c plus 1 over bc times the quantity a plus b plus c plus 1 over c a times the quantity a plus b plus c. We can factor out the common term 1 over the quantity a plus b plus c, giving us 1 over the quantity a plus b plus c multiplied by the quantity 1 over ab plus 1 over bc plus 1 over ca. Notice that the right side simplifies to 1 over abc. This means we have proven our original inequality. The sum of 1 over a cubed plus b cubed plus abc plus 1 over b cubed plus c cubed plus abc plus 1 over c cubed plus a cubed plus bc is less than or equal to 1 over abc. And that completes our proof. Let's summarize what we've learned in this proof. Let's start with our problem. We need to prove the following inequality. The sum of four fractions, a plus c over a plus b plus d over b plus c plus a over c plus d plus b over d plus a is greater than or equal to 4. To solve this problem, we'll follow a step-by-step approach. Step 1. Let's regroup the terms in our inequality. We can group the first and third terms together and the second and fourth terms together. Step 2. Next, we can factor out common terms from each group. From the first group, we can factor out a plus c, and from the second group, we can factor out b plus d. Step 3. Now we will apply an important inequality. For any positive numbers a and b, the sum of their reciprocals is greater than or equal to 4 divided by their sum. In mathematical terms, for all positive a and b, 1 over a plus 1 over b is greater than or equal to 4 over a plus b. Step 4. Let's apply the inequality to the first group of terms. We get that 1 over a plus b plus 1 over c plus d is greater than or equal to 4 over the sum of a plus b plus c plus d. This means that a plus c times the sum of 1 over a plus b plus 1 over c plus d is greater than or equal to 4 times a plus c over a plus b plus c plus d. Step 5. Similarly, let's apply the inequality to the second group of terms. D is greater than or equal to 4 times a plus c over a plus b plus c plus d. Step 5. Similarly, let's apply the inequality to the second group of terms. We get that 1 over b plus c plus 1 over d plus a is greater than or equal to 4 over the sum of b plus c plus d plus a. This means that b plus d times the sum of 1 over b plus c plus 1 over d plus a is greater than or equal to 4 times b plus d over b plus c plus d plus a. Step 6. Now, let's add the two inequalities from steps 4 and 5. On the left side, we get the original expression from our problem. On the right side, we get 4 times a plus c over a plus b plus c plus d plus 4 times b plus d over a plus b plus c plus d. We can simplify the right side to 4 times a plus c plus b plus d over a plus b plus c plus d, which equals 4. Step 7. Therefore, plus d. We can simplify the right side to 4 times a plus c plus b plus d over a plus b plus c plus d, which equals 4. Step 7. Therefore, we've proven that the original expression is greater than or equal to 4. To summarize, we regrouped the terms, factored out common factors, applied the AMHM inequality to each group, and added the resulting inequalities to reach our conclusion. Let's summarize what we've learned. First, we regrouped the terms to form 2 meaningful groups. Next, we factored out common terms from each group. Then, we applied the AMHM inequality to each group separately. Finally, we added the inequalities to prove our original statement. This approach demonstrates how powerful algebraic manipulation and known inequality rules can be when the problem asks us to prove the following inequality. Left parenthesis 1 plus 1 over x right parenthesis raised to the power of n is greater than or equal to 1 plus n over x plus 1, where x is a real number and n is an integer. Let's start solving this step by step following the algorithm shown. Step 1. We'll begin by transforming the left-hand side of the inequality. We can rewrite 1 plus 1 over x as x plus 1 over x. Step 2. Now, we'll continue transforming the expression. We can rewrite the fraction x plus 1 over x as the reciprocal of x over x plus 1 raised to the power negative 1. Then, we can simplify this to the power of negative n, since we're raising this expression to the power n. Step 3. Let's continue our transformation. We can rewrite x over x plus 1 as 1 minus 1 over x plus 1. So our expression becomes 1 minus 1 over x plus 1 raised to the power negative n. Step 4. Now we'll apply an important inequality theorem. As a reminder, for 1 plus a greater than or equal to 0, we have 1 plus a to the power n is greater than or equal to 1 plus n times when n is less than 0 or n is greater than 1. Step 5. Now, let's apply Bernoulli's inequality to our expression. In our case, I was negative 1 over x plus 1, and n is negative n, which means negative n is a positive integer, since n is a negative integer, as stated in our problem. So, 1 minus 1 over x plus 1 raised to negative n is greater than or equal to 1 plus negative n times negative 1 over x plus 1. Step 6. Let's simplify the right side of our inequality. Negative n times negative 1 over x plus 1 simplifies to n over x plus 1. So, our inequality becomes 1 minus 1 over x plus 1 raised to negative n is greater than or equal to 1 plus n over x plus 1. Step 7. Now, let's put everything together to reach our conclusion. Going back to our initial transformation, we showed that the left side of our original inequality, 1 plus 1 over x raised to n equals 1 minus 1 over x plus 1 raised to negative n. And we just proved that this is greater than or equal to 1 plus n over x plus 1. Therefore, we've proven the original inequality. Left parenthesis 1 plus 1 over x right parenthesis raised to n is greater than or equal to 1 plus n over x plus 1. Great job! We've successfully proved the inequality by following a step-by-step approach. Let's review the key steps we took. 1. We transformed the left side using algebraic manipulations. 2. We applied reciprocal properties. 3. We used fraction decomposition. 4. We applied Bernoulli's inequality. 5. And finally, we connected all the steps to prove the original inequality. This proof demonstrates how to apply algebraic transformations and inequalities theorems to prove complex mathematical statements. Here's our inequality to prove. We need to prove that this expression is true where alpha is between negative 1 and 0, that is, negative 1 is less than alpha, which is less than 0. Before we dive into the proof, let's recall 2 useful inequalities that will help us. For 0 less than alpha less than 1 and n greater than or equal to negative 1, we have that 1 plus n raised to the power of alpha is less than or equal to 1 plus n times alpha. And for alpha less than 0 or alpha greater than 1, we have that 1 plus n raised to the power of alpha is greater than or equal to 1 plus n times alpha. Let's start our proof. First, we note that since alpha is between -1 and 0, we can conclude that alpha plus 1 is between 0 and 1. This is a simple algebraic manipulation of the given inequality. Now, let's examine the first part of our proof. We'll use the fact that if 1 plus 1 over n is raised to the power of alpha plus 1, it's less than 1 plus alpha plus 1 over n, according to our reminder. Then we can apply some algebraic manipulations, multiply both sides by n to the power of alpha plus 1, and simplify to get our first intermediate result. Let's continue with the next step in our proof. We can simplify what we have. Notice that n raised to alpha plus 1 times 1 plus 1 over n raised to alpha plus 1 is equal to n raised to alpha plus 1 times n plus 1 over n raised to alpha plus 1, which simplifies to n to the alpha plus 1 power. Similarly, for the second case with 1 minus 1 over n, after multiplying and simplifying both sides, we arrive at these inequalities. Now, let's rearrange our inequalities to isolate the terms we need. From the first inequality, we subtract n to the alpha plus 1 from both sides, and get that n plus 1 to the alpha plus 1 minus n to the alpha plus 1 is less than alpha plus 1 times n to the alpha power. From the second inequality, we can rearrange to get that alpha plus 1 times n to the alpha power is less than n to the alpha plus 1 minus n minus 1 to the alpha plus 1 power. Finally, we can combine our results to reach our conclusion. Putting together the two inequalities we derived, we get exactly what we were trying to prove. The fraction with n plus 1 to the alpha plus 1 minus n to the alpha plus 1 over alpha plus 1 is less than n to the alpha power, which is less than n to the alpha plus 1 minus n minus 1 to the alpha plus 1 over alpha plus 1. And that completes our proof. Let's look at the problem. We need to prove the following inequality. X to the power p minus 1 over p is greater than x to the power q minus 1 over q, where x is greater than 1, p is greater than q, and both p and q are positive integers. Let's approach this problem by using substitutions to simplify the inequality. First, let's look at two important inequality rules that we'll use. Let's start by making a substitution. If we let x to the power q equal epsilon, and p divided by q equal lambda, we can simplify our original inequality. Now, let's rewrite the left side of our inequality using these substitutions. The term x to the power p can be rewritten as x to the power q lambda, which equals epsilon to the power lambda. Next, we continue simplifying using our substitutions. We can replace x to the power q lambda with epsilon to the power lambda. We also know that p equals q times lambda. This gives us the following inequality. Let's continue the simplification process. We can replace p with q times lambda in the denominator of the left fraction. Now, let's manipulate this inequality to isolate terms. First, we multiply both sides by q to eliminate the denominator on the right side. Then, we multiply the right side by lambda to get a common factor between both sides. Let's expand the right side of our inequality. We get epsilon to the power lambda minus 1 is greater than lambda times epsilon minus lambda. Now, let's rearrange the terms to get our inequality into a standard form. We move all terms to the left side of the inequality, giving us epsilon to the power lambda minus lambda times epsilon plus lambda minus 1 is greater than 0. This is our important inequality that we'll label as inequality 1. Now, let's consider the case where x is less than 1. If x is less than 1, then epsilon is also less than 1. Let's define 0, less than alpha, less than 1, and epsilon equals 1 minus alpha. Let's substitute this value of epsilon into our key inequality from step 7. We substitute epsilon equals 1 minus alpha into epsilon to the power lambda minus 1 minus lambda times epsilon minus 1 is greater than 0. Now, let's simplify this expression. We get 1 minus alpha to the power lambda minus 1 plus lambda alpha is greater than 0. Rearranging, we get 1 minus alpha to the power lambda minus 1 plus lambda alpha is greater than 0. For our final step, in this case, let's rearrange to match our initial inequality rule. we get 1 minus alpha to the power lambda is greater than 1 minus lambda alpha. Now, we can see that this matches our first inequality property. According to our rule, 1 minus alpha to the power lambda is greater than 1 minus alpha lambda when lambda is greater than 1 and 0 is less than alpha less than 1. Since these are exactly our conditions, inequality 1 always holds when x is less than 1. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more math lessons. Nenomatica, where mathematics meets YouTube excellence.